Source 2 is obviously really hyped, but the devs haven't shown any real public attention to it until recently. Most notably, officially putting in the Source 2 Conspiracy Club sticker and some interesting notes in the CSGO 10 patch notes as well. So let's take a deep dive into all of it. But just before we get into it, check out this quick pre-roll from the sponsor SkinsMonkey on how to get a free $5 trading your CSGO skins.
Hi you! Yes, you! Would you like to get $5 for free for your first trade? Just use skinsmonkey.com and get your extra skins. See description below to enjoy the special promotion and receive 5% cashback for trading your CSGO skins.
Okay, so put your tinfoil hats on for this video because this entire thing is pretty much just going to be a conspiracy theory and really grasping at straws and giving my own opinion on everything. But I first want to take a look at CSGO's 10th anniversary patch notes where they note two main things. First off, that CSGO is, quote, just getting started and that, quote, the future could not look brighter. Well, we've already been at player count highs that we haven't seen in a long time, and all of this really just comes off an update that I'm sure they knew would be underwhelming for players. For the 10-year anniversary update, I mean, obviously everybody expected something big. As I said, I really didn't expect it to be more than the capsule, as that's all they really talked about. But I mean, the game's been out for 10 years. You would expect a crazy update, something with Source 2, or just some big update. So I'd like to think these two statements actually mean Valve has something big in store, and they're not just general statements saying, oh, I think the game's going to do well in the future. But either way, let's continue on to why. Another thing that seems really interesting about the whole situation is that Valve never seems to hint at things in CS unless they're actually coming to the game. With the sticker release, they clearly acknowledge the hype behind Source 2, but it doesn't end there. Something I found really interesting is that there's this guy on Twitter named GabeFollower. I've talked about him a lot in past videos because him, alongside a couple others, tweet very consistently in just the past few months especially, not only about things found in the game files, such as devs playing on Tuscan and other maps, meaning they'd probably get released in the official game, and that did end up happening, but also a whole lot about Source 2 and what the devs have supposedly been doing behind the scenes, some stuff found in the game files about that, and just overall a whole lot about Source 2. And CSGO devs ended up following this guy on Twitter pretty recently. Once again, I'd like to take this as a subtle hint that they realize everyone is talking about Source 2 and has seen the behind the scenes efforts that are supposedly being put into it, but that's just my thoughts. It could very well be nothing, but it takes a lot to get a follow out of the CSGO Twitter account, so who knows? It's really just a coin flip. That's honestly just my thoughts. They don't follow people too often, so following somebody that posts about Source 2 and just in-game leaks this often is just really interesting to me. But something else that is much older but still something interesting to know is that when the major was going on, the CSGO Twitter account would constantly just tweet Counter-Strike. This got a lot of people thinking about what if the actual game just did a big revamp, whether it be Source 2 or just something else to completely revamp the game and make it more up-to-date, I guess. Maybe the name would just be shortened to Counter-Strike, and that's why they tweeted it so much, obviously, instead of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. But Valve doesn't really seem to be in any rush to do that if that is the case. That was all the way during the last major as well, and even then, I don't think CSGO needs a rebrand, but with CSGO not really having any big updates since Riptide, and no, I wouldn't consider the new ranking update a big update even though it changed MM by a lot, it really didn't do that much in my opinion. It just recalibrated ranks, which isn't really anything too substantial. So you'd have to assume something big is still in the works, even if none of these hints turn out to actually be anything. We haven't had an update, or a big update, I mean, in such a long time that you'd have to assume something is being worked on, and hopefully they're either gonna like piggyback off the major with new players coming there, or just release it before the major so all the people that come with the major hopefully just play the update then. You'd have to assume that's something that would logically make sense, and I mean, maybe it ties in with these things that they're doing on Twitter, with the things that we're seeing in the game files and all that, but really, there's just no telling with CSGO devs. Nothing is substantial and just set in stone. It feels like everything is always up in the air. But yeah, beyond all that, I'm gonna take the tinfoil hat off for today. Let me know, what do you guys think? Is there something big coming, or how much longer is this dry period of just no real huge updates gonna last? And as always, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and get your free $5 bonus on SkinsMonkey with that link at the top of the description. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.